So welcome back everyone to Web Gaming Entertainment. I am very excited to bring to you another developer blog. This is dev blog number 10. It's been a while since the last one, about 2 to 3 weeks, and I definitely wanted to get another one out to you guys at this point. Let you know that everything is still going very well, making some changes here and there and continuing to add in content every day. So here we are, guys, and in this particular video, if there's anything I want to show you, it's pretty much just keeping you posted on where we are and also letting you see some of the minor changes that were made. Did change the camera, so a lot more freedom, if you will, and I'm going to speak about the lighting in just a second, but as you can see, it's definitely more freedom with the camera. Sorry to be going crazy here. The other camera I had, you can only go but so high, so I made some changes, some tweaks here and there to that, and there we go. But let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the lights that I got going on here. They will change, let's just say that. But right now I'm kind of testing different, I'm going to say draw distances, probably the wrong word, but draw distances, and I know when you think draw distances, that's the polygons that are drawn depending on how far the camera is. But in this case, I'm using that term to represent the drawing of the shadows, and as a result, the lighting also is affected slightly, but I'm going to change that so that it's always, the whole entire office will be lit when you're playing. So when you back this far, the office will still be lit. But as far as your shadows, you will still see them, but I'm working on a few tricks here and there to make that as efficient as possible. And the reason for that is because when you start talking shadows and quality of the game, you're definitely going to have to get a trade-off going, because the frame rate will normally take a hit, you know, the more shadows and the more dynamic lighting you have. So the key in this particular case, which is one thing that the Unity engine is good for, if you know what you're doing, is to be able to make certain tweaks, different tricks here and there to make to allow you to still see every shadow, but to take away the hit to the frame rate. And actually I've achieved that, but it's still some more tweaking I need to do to make that as efficient as possible. Because when you play the game, what the idea for me at least is to allow everyone, no matter what system, you know, how powerful of a system, computer system you have, I still want you to be able to experience the game in its, you know, as high a fidelity as possible. So that's really my goal, and that's what I'm working toward. So that's the reason why I'm kind of testing this heavily. But I'm at the moment, what I'm working on as well is adding in obviously all the content behind the scenes to make the game the gameplay. Let's just say the gameplay. I've been really putting in a lot of work on the visual quality of the game lately, but the last week and a half I've been shifting all my focus into getting the nuts and bolts of the game in, and I know I've been saying that for quite a while, but there's really a lot to it because you have a lot to do, and I'm just going to kind of touch on some of it. But you guys have really seen most of this already, but I do want to talk just a bit about it. In the game, you know, I want it to be as streamlined as possible, so some of these screens will not be the same. They will change slightly because I want it to be at a point where when you get into the game, you don't really need so much in the way of a tutorial to really understand what you're doing. But of course there will be those, but I definitely want to make it so that, you know, it's easy to pick up and go. So we're working on that. So, you know, you'll see that in one of the upcoming videos. But as it stands now, I'm really heavily working on the behind the scenes, the gameplay stuff. But as you can see, some things that I can talk about, because there is a lot that I'm keeping back because I don't want to give everything away, but not so much that. It's more of, you know, I want to talk about things when they're really ready to be shown. So at this point, there's a lot that I won't talk about, but I will say, you know, for example, this would be something like your HR office. So you got your different HR personnel there. I think the highest would probably be your HR director in this game. Once you get to this size of an office, obviously when you start the game, you're going to be small potatoes. So as a result, you probably won't have a lot of high-ranking executives because they cost. They really do cost. Maybe this would be your CFO's office, and maybe this would be your office. You never know. But you will have the option to designate some of these things. In particular, you'll have your customer service office, and you have a choice if you want to even have one in your headquarters. So maybe you want to outsource that, or maybe you even want to have a satellite office that you have in your company, and then you can hire your own people to run it. But again, you have the choice of doing that, or just simply outsourcing to a third-party company who will do the work for you. But then there's trade-offs for either decision that you make in that way. But you have your IT department, complete with their personnel, some operations or engineer research staff that you will be hiring for your headquarters or even satellite offices. There will be different options. The idea is to give you as many options as possible and let you choose how you want to play the game. So just to share that with you. But a lot of this is not furnished now, but as we continue to go on in further videos, you'll see it completely furnished. And that's another reason why I really want to make sure that I maximize the frame rate, because the more objects, the more hits to the frame rate you're gonna have. So we're gonna make sure we maximize that and make it as efficient as possible. But yeah, and we're gonna have different office objects and office furniture that you can choose from. They will have different boosts, different hits against the happiness or the comfort of your employees. So there's gonna be many different things you're gonna have to manage in the game, and I'm pretty excited to get that going and to have that in the game, so you can actually see how the gameplay will be. But we'll get there very shortly. Really at this point, just trying to take my time, because with games like this, you don't want to rush them. You really want to make sure that it's it's as fine-tuned as possible, because the last thing you want is to release a game like this with so many bugs, and that the goal is not to do that. So I'm gonna cut the video here, guys. It's we're moving forward. A lot of progress has been made, and there's so much more that needs to be made. So I'm just kind of putting my head down at this point and just running. So first of all, thank you to everyone who's following the game, everyone who is giving I've gotten so many warm comments about the game, and it's been received so far very well, and I am very excited to bring it to you later in this year. There will be a testing phase coming too. I'll select a handful of you all to help me test the game to make sure that it's everything that it needs to be at release. But I'm very excited about where things are going right now, and it's a very exciting time. Thank you all so much for your support. Please stay tuned to the website. Updates will be coming as we move forward toward the next phase of development. And I know we've been in pre-alpha for a while, and the thing about pre-alpha is, can I play the game from considerably enough? And I'll say, like, for example, can I play the game through to a significant point? And at this point I can't, so I have to add a lot more in, and until that happens, the game will be considered in pre-alpha phase. Once we hit alpha phase, that means the game is playable. We can actually play the game, make progress, and right now it's just not at that point yet. We're getting there. It looks as if though it's there, but it's not. It's really not. So we're gonna get it there very soon. I don't want to give you false hopes, so I'm just trying to be as transparent as possible about it. But we will get there soon. I did anticipate to get there faster than I have so far, but with games like this, you have to always be open to changes, and sometimes you have to adjust your timetable just a little bit. So please stay tuned. Please continue to be patient, and we'll get to that point very soon. Thanks again, guys, for watching. I'm again very excited to bring it to you, and I look forward to getting there. So guys, thanks, and I'll see you in the next video.